Merry Christmas, Jamie.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Jack. How's things?
All good. It's grey, a usual grey day up in Wigan. But it's not dampening my mood, that's for sure.
No. How are your athletes feeling? As social media is telling us that they are going through the rigor.
Yeah, so the past 3 days they've had 10 events that they've had to tackle. And unfortunately I missed the last couple yesterday. I was up in Newcastle. But Steve said, yeah, Taylor and Reggie were flogging towards the end. It was survival mode for the last two events. So yeah, it's been cool to watch. Obviously, you probably saw Georgia get sniped, tripping over the bar. So funny. But yeah, it's just a bit of a kick up the backside going into this Christmas period for them. It's like, you've got to stay on it. Taylor and Reggie go out to Miami the first week of January, so they're going out a couple of weeks early as well. So yeah, bit of a test to see where they need to pick things up before going into this last little block before the Palooza. So yeah, that's been all good. What about with you? Everything all good down?
Yeah. Blitz has been rolling through. Obviously, we're filming this on Thursday. Cool. I'm getting my days now, and it's a couple of days post Matt Fraser death. 40-minute EMOM life. People are still talking about it. I think the following day was perfect for me to jump in and have a bit of a play around with some bike and air squats. So I managed to dodge that. I do, in my own exact words, I don't dodge workouts. I genuinely don't have a very good ankle from running. So I managed to dodge that. But yeah, a lot of people got humbled by it coming away in a positive sense. So. Obviously, the RX was 70 for the guys and 47 for the girls, and guys had to scale way more than they wanted to and expected to. No one did do 3 rounds and then change the weight, which was good. I think that hopefully suggests when we went through this, we really emphasised the point of good scaling. But yeah, it left its mark. I think everyone could have walked away at 5 rounds and been quite happy with the workout, and then it was a real. Well, that's why Matt Fraser is probably the best in the world. It was the resilience and the grit to get through that back half of the workout. Didn't really hurt anymore. No one looked at it worse from minutes 20 to 40, but it was just who was willing to keep the movements well, was able to get through their business. But that's been like the whole week. That's the whole week for everybody.
I was going to do it on Tuesday. I was telling Reggie, I was like, right, I'm going to do this EMOM, and they had just done a rope climb and handstand walk event, and it was like, oh, come on, Jack, do this instead, because it was one of the events that they had to do. Beaten by 2 minutes on that workout, just want to throw that out there. But I do really want to try that EMOM just to see what it's like. Because to be fair, in the past, I've never really thrown barbell work into an EMOM like that before. But it's a great test of like, how is your barbell cycling when your heart rate is through the roof?
Definitely. Maybe we'll make a point. Both of us will give it a crack at the end of January when my ankle gets a bit better. We'll lay ourselves down. I'm always willing to do my programming, regardless of how much. If I need to scale it or give it a crack. So. Yeah, we'll pencil it in. No extra training for it. No doing practice EMOMs. We'll go in and see how bad it actually is.
Agreed. Right, we should probably talk about next week's training between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
So this is the last week of 2021, starting the 27th of December, and we've put in all your workouts that you've given us. And basically tried to put them all in this week. Straight off the bat, one of the things that I do want to say is I'm pretty sure most people won't be coming in every single day this week, because you look at the week, you're like, fuck me, that's an epic week of training. But also at the same time, for people to be hitting like high intensity every day, it's just not possible. So for those that are coming in or are able to come in for most days, make them aware, like, tell them, I want you to pick and choose the days this week that you want to really send it. Again, just so they can be like, you know, it gets them excited. They'll be like, right, yeah, I'm going to really go for that one, really go for that one. And then I'm going to chill out, you know, on this one a little bit more. So yeah. Do you want to add anything on that note on the weekly kind of overview?
Yeah, just echoing that same thing. I think if you try and do Monday, Tuesday full bore, I think Wednesday rolls around and you want to go heavy single from the floor. And those people that have already sensed it the first 2 days, you're probably gonna struggle, and it doesn't get any easier. Even our active recovery down a Thursday can pack a bit of a punch with some skill work, and 20 minutes on a machine is pretty tough any day of the week. So yeah, just echoing what you've just said.
Like I say, it kind of covers all bases because people have got so many plans in this kind of week. Usually, like whatever day you go in, like James said, it's going to pack a punch. Even that Thursday, that's usually, you know, a bit more low key. Rich Barnes from RS3 is just going to hammer you, you know. So yeah, let's get stuck into more the nitty gritty of each day then. So we kick off the Monday with Adam Yellen's workout from RDHFC in South Wales. Simple couplet, chest to bar pull-ups and bar facing burpees, but a little bit of a twist in there. What are you telling people who are doing this workout? Obviously, when you add up all those reps of chest to bar pull-ups, it ends up being like, I think, 110? This is quick math. Is that what it is?
I want to say, I think it's double 55. I think it's double the 10 down to 1. I could be way off. No, I'm pretty sure it is because I was doing the math on the time cap. And yeah.
A lot of chest to bar pull-ups that. So what you're saying, what you're telling members for this day? Yeah,
totally. With the you've got the air squat kind of penalty lap. I would say it's a slightly different penalty lap, say on the muscle up biathlon where 200-meter run is 45 seconds. This is not, it's not as aggressive. So it is one of those ones that if you want to go for a quick time, you could probably use those air squats as 10 recovery air squats and be willing to break up maybe a set of 20 chest to bars into 2 sets, maybe 3 sets. Mm-hmm. So then you can manage your pace on the burpees a little bit better. And I think this, even though the chest to bars are the thing that stand out, that require the most amount of scaling, the burpees are what determine whether you're succeeding or failing in this workout. Because the 20, 18 and 16 done sensibly lead you into building your pace. Whenever you see a descending rep scheme, you want to be thinking, right, manage the first third, and then be able to have something left to kind of pick it up at the end if you need to, as opposed to if you've sold yourself to the devil early on, and then at the back end, your set of 8 takes you just as long as it took you to do the set of 16, you've kind of lost the impetus of that workout. So a couple of things to kind of pull out from there is don't be afraid to break the chest to bars if you can just quickly recover on the air squats, and then have a sensible pacing plan on the burpees.
Yeah. I'd be thinking, right, what can I do on these chest to bar pull-ups? Like roughly what is my max set? If it's over kind of 2/3 of what my max set is, I would be looking at breaking it up. If it's, you know, if I can do 30, you know, chest to bar pull-ups unbroken, you then adjust your pace on the burpees. Well, adjust your pace on the burpees anyway, because if you can do it where you're pacing it just right, that you can do that next set, you know, unbroken. So like that's going to, you know, save you doing air squats just by being a bit more clever with your burpee pace. But at the same time, not going so slow that it takes you 2 minutes, 3 minutes to do 20 burpees. So yeah, just being clever with that pacing on the burpees will be pretty key on this one.
For a scale in volume, look at reducing the volume first. So maintain the same movement. A good way to do it is like your 10 down to 1. So it's half that rep scheme. Keep the burpees where they are. I know it's very tempting to drop the burpee number, but that just creates a bit more time between them. So if you find the pull-ups difficult, even though there's more burpees, there's more time between pull-ups. It's when you get down to those smaller rep schemes and you do a 12 and then you do maybe the burpees in 30, 40 seconds, all of a sudden, can you do 22 pull-ups in a minute and 20 seconds? That's where it starts to snowball on and add up for us regular members trying to get through the workout.
Yeah. Sounds good. Tuesday, weight have thrown us. I've definitely seen them program this before. They love an assault bike, I've got to say. Jess and the crew there, they love an assault bike. We just did Salty Towers the other week, assault bike in there as well. Looking at this, I'm thinking, wow, similar feels to that EMOM that we did on Tuesday. Initially, there was burpees in, wasn't there, as the AMRAP part at the end. We just kind of switched that, didn't we? Just to kind of fit with the whole week.
Yeah, if we look across that whole week, it's very burpee and devil press orientated. I think once we've gone through the whole week, we'll talk about how to have a conversation with the members about making that more manageable potentially, and also like kind of breaking the news to them. They're probably not in every day, so they're going to be there.
Yeah. So what I'd be expecting on this 4-minute AMRAP format, you look at it, the 20 cal bike and the row, it's going to take you, around 2 minutes, 90 seconds, 2 minutes to complete. Then you're into your second movement, which is either around a DT, again, probably in around a minute for that, probably less on the wall balls. And then the final movement, you're sending it on the bike, or you've got them dumbbell snatches to finish, trying to get back on that row if you've got it in the tank. But it's just kind of foot to the floor. What have you got in the tank for this one today?
Definitely. On the a good opportunity, if we flip back to we may go hard on the Monday, and then you could use Tuesday, if you got a bit humbled by DT, as another opportunity to have a practice, maybe try a different weight, try something heavier. So I know a few people reported maybe next time they'd try heavier on that DT because the movement was okay. It was just the overall volume. So it's a chance to kind of refine it. Your members are kind of well versed on it, having done it 10 times the week before. So you can kind of mention that to them and say, look, this is a good practice session for DT. On the other one, on the wall balls and the snatches, it's kind of, it bleeds us in the following week, which you'll see on our video. Is there are 2 movements that are going to come up quite regularly in our programming come January, to get us well prepared for open season.
It's soon be upon us. On to Wednesday, Darren Freeman at Train dropped the pain train on them. He gave us a little bit of a background to this workout as well. I feel like the numbers that he gave us or something were kind of to do with when Train opened or something like that. I can't remember the ins and outs of what it was, but we've got an opportunity to go heavy on a weightlifting piece this week. This is the only day this week that you'll be able to go heavy on a weightlifting complex. So use that today to go big or go home. It's a heavy thruster from the floor, which is pretty cool because obviously we've done the front squat cycle that we've just finished. Loads of people have hit a new PB clean. And obviously this will directly transfer into this thruster this week. Obviously, limiting factor will be for that is just what people can press straight out of that squat, I guess. Tends to be in and around what people's push press 1 rep max is. So again, we might see that gives kind of people a guide as to what they should be aiming for there. And then we've got the actual kind of workout. This looks very similar to, is it the comp train EMOM where it's
Ben Bergeron bleep test or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? But you do that as an EMOM, don't you? Similar feels for this. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so every 6 minutes for 3 sets, but within the 3 sets there is 3 rounds. That's always, I know when members come, they're like, I don't understand the format. So 7 thrusters, 7 burpees, 7 toes to bar, 3 rounds of that. The goal is to bash through that as quick as you can with a 4-minute time cap within each 6-minute window. Realistically, looking at the thrusters, it's an unbroken business. Unbroken there, bring the bar down, get it to settle straight over your burpees, and then before you know it, you want to be up. If you're that competitive member, make sure your barbell is near the rig so you can get yourself straight up. Realistically, toes to bar, one of those movements that within thrusters and burpees over the bar, your heart rate should possibly be coming down ever so slightly. So you've got enough tension to make the movement. The reps aren't so high that you're having to hold on for big sets. So then you're thinking, right, how quickly can I get back to the thrusters? Darren also put a note saying, if anyone's a bit of a ninja, like you've got those guys in there that move a barbell and burpee all day, get them to do 4 rounds within that 4 minutes. If you can do 7-7-7 within the minute or just under, you go for it. Dangle that carrot if anyone's kind of feeling, I mean, no one's going to feel good in that between Christmas and New Year period. Everyone's going to feel probably quite heavy, but if anyone wants to really go for it and you've done an easier day the day before, that's your chance.
Yeah.
Light enough barbell, be sensible on your burpees, and then 1 set on the toes to bar. So initially maybe reduce the number, maybe then reduce the range and be consistent on whatever you're going to be doing.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, looks good.
I think the other thing there is just tell yourself it's only 3 rounds as well. You know, so by the time you finish the first one, you probably feel pretty bad, but not too bad. And then if you get halfway through the second one, it's like, well, you're halfway through the whole thing. So yeah, mentally tell yourself it's not, you know, it's not that much.
You could tell the members, right, guys, if we were going to do 21 thrusters, 21 burpees, 21 toes to bar for time, which is the volume of that workout, what would your strategy be? People would be like, right, we're sending it. We're going to try and hang on. We're going for it. Same principle applies. It just means you're going to have to like go between movements, which means you've got to be smart on your transitions.
For the guys who you know, these movements aren't kind of much of a problem. They know they're going to be doing them toes to bar and broken. That urgency between the movements will be key. How quick can you go from one to the other? Can you squat clean that first rep on the thruster? You know, go straight into it. So yeah, just cater for, you know, everyone who's in your class. Intensity is what we want there. Thursday, bit of a different one this.
Yeah.
So Rich from RS3 has given us a 20-minute max distance row or bike every 2 minutes.
Yeah. Starting
at 2 minutes, so you get a little bit of a head start. 5 dumbbell devil's press. Very posterior chain heavy today. Obviously, the day before more anterior based. So nice little, you know, opposite to what we got the day before. What you saying to members on this one?
I think choosing the correct weight for the devil's press, I think is going to be really important. I think we've all, when they come out, I think it was probably a Dubai Fitness Championships years and years and years ago. Everyone had seen the movement, but no one done it because no one had done it in a CrossFit comp. Yeah. And now, like, if we flick to last weekend, everyone's doing those A jumps now. I've seen like 3 or 4 gyms doing the A squat jump things where squat down and you jump up. That's where the devil's press was kind of originally inserted in, and everyone thought the first year of the Dumbbell Open, when it was at 2017, everyone was practicing these thinking it's going to be devil's press, and then it was just the good old-fashioned dumbbell snatch, wasn't it? So yeah, being efficient on those, having some kind of key strategies, bring the weight down, because we want to get these done in about 40 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds, and then get back on your machine. One of the things I would advise when you get back on the machine after a couple of 2-minute intervals is you'll lose your ability to sprint, because all of your systems are now you're just into aerobic work. So the key is, like we mentioned in the workout the day before, get back onto it, get moving, and then don't look at the split. Just start moving for 10 to 20 seconds at a pace that you feel you can maintain. And then the split will determine itself. And then you can start to narrow it down. And if it's near a number, say it's, for most guys in their workout, they'll get back on and it'll be maybe just above 2 minute split. If you're like an average member, you might want to see 158 or 159 and you have to work for it. And then the next block would be guys that are doing 151s, 152s and girls that are doing that. You might want to see 148s, 149s. And it's just those tipping points, because psychologically it's easy to sit just a little bit above it. But then to get those real results, it's sitting just outside of that comfort zone. So those would be the two things: choose the weight and then get on the machine and just be moving, but at that mildly uncomfortable pace. And then at the end, we've all been there. It'll be a minute and 20 seconds when you get on it and there's that's left. Turn the music up, get your members to really send it, and then send them home.
Yeah. Two things for me on this workout. How are you going to do the devil's press? What technique is most efficient for you? Is it you jumping up with your feet between dumbbells and then going straight up to get the reps done, that bit faster? Or is it between your legs, limiting the amount of swing between your legs to get the dumbbells up if you can? Because if you can get the devil's press done in 30 seconds compared to someone that's doing it in 40 seconds, trying to make 10 seconds up on a row or a bike is so hard. And it's one of them, I know for me on that workout, like the guys who are more competitive or are still athletes these days, I know I'm getting on that rower strapped in, and I've started rowing a couple of seconds before they have, because they're always like fanning around with the feet. Whereas I'll just like slide him straight in and getting the stick moving and I've got into a rhythm, and then I'll tighten up my feet once I've got back into that rhythm. So it's just like little things like that again, just catering for everyone in the class. Technique on devil's press and trying to find those extra inches on the rower. So
like it.
Right. Industry 13 on Friday. Whoa. Nice little workout this. I'll let you start it off. Go on, tell me your thoughts when you saw this.
Yeah, well, firstly, I just liked the numbers. If you know me well, like kind of come out the Rich Froning handbook of CrossFit workouts, the numbers need to look good. Otherwise they don't produce fitness. That is a lie, but I have that stood by in my own head. So when I saw the 13, I think I mentioned in the group to the boys, is like, we got to call this the 13 from Industry 13. 13-minute AMRAP, 6 cow machine, 6 toes to bar, 1 ground to overhead. Again, there's been a bit of a theme, transition life. Have everything close, have everything moving, and you should be pretty primed. I popped in a little bit of, I'm going to call it skill work on weightlifting. I wouldn't say you can get heavy, but you're going to have to work really hard to get quite heavy today, because you've got to go to and fro backwards and forwards. But just a nice little opportunity to kind of go to and fro in for 15 minutes, starting at a relatively lightweight and going quite heavy. You'll possibly finish, and you should finish heavier than where you'll be for the workout. So then when you drop to that workout weight, it should feel nice and snappy. Shouldn't feel limited. You should feel like every time I finish a toes to bar, hands go on the bar, pull your hips down, and then you should be able to just pull and punch. It says ground to overhead. If you want to challenge some people, they can snatch it. I think if I was doing this workout to maintain a faster pace, I would go clean and jerk, but I would be looking at trying to get your members to learn and think about 2 jumps. Jump into the shoulders, catching that power position, and then you're ready to then jump and land in that power jerk or push jerk, however you want to call it. So no need for a split jerk. I don't think it calls for that. But it is one of those ones, get back on your machine and then hang on to those toes to bar. Yeah.
I think the ground to overhead, get people to, catch it in the dip of the clean so they can go straight into that jerk, kind of practicing that under a little bit more fatigue. Obviously, it should be pretty well drilled in after the 15-minute window, the weightlifting part before. Again, that's just a good opportunity to practice plenty of good reps. Always a cool format that. I remember one of my first memories of watching CrossFit was Phil Hesketh and Zane McVicker, who were at CrossFit Clitheroe. I remember them going rep for rep on, you know, this sort of format of a workout, and between every rep they just give each other like a quick slap of the hands, like, you know, keep tagging each other in. But just one of them that always sticks in my mind, and it's just like a cool format to do in a pair. So yeah, Epic Friday.
Nice.
We finish, so that's the end. That would be the end of 2021.
Yeah.
So then we kick off 2022 with the Berserk Mile from Eamon and Mark. A good blast, long blast, that's for sure, to start the year. All pretty low skill stuff. Again, great to have a run in there to finish. What are you telling people about this one?
Well, first thing I'm looking at here, I'm like, I do like a bit of barbell. I don't mind a bit of higher skill gymnastics. Neither of those two things are going to work. It's about just working really hard on all four of those movements and making the most out of your fitness. The reason we put it in on the first, one looks like a really cool workout, but secondly, it is one of those ones that a lot of gyms won't be open. So there is an opportunity to try to fit something like this. The only variation might be that you're looking at a dumbbell thruster or maybe just a weighted squat if you don't have space to do wall balls. Most of the other areas should be pretty good to roll through, but just a good old blast.
Like you said, you can easily hold the dumbbell, you know, one hand on each head, do dumbbell thrusters like that, or same with a kettlebell in a goblet. But yeah, again, a cool one if gyms are open. Yeah. Again, mile run, good benchmark to have under some fatigue as well. What can you send that mile run in?
Yeah, you got like a nice capacity test. Certainly, it brings in some of those members that may have an endurance background. So say the DT thing's been crushing people the last few weeks, and then those members that maybe got a big engine base are feeling like they're bottom of the rung and they're like doubting their fitness. This is a good way to bring some of them back up. I know some members that are not necessarily CrossFit fit would do very well at this kind of workout.
Yeah.
I know I'd probably have to be 3 or 4 minutes ahead of one of them if they were trying to chase me down on that mile run. I could probably feel every one of their steps getting me.
Yeah, breathing on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
And then to finish this week, we've got Awful. Nice. I'll see what you did there.
I know.
Okay.
It looks awful.
So this is from Adam Kudrell at CrossFit Or. Again, people love machines and they love burpee variations, don't they?
Yeah. Again, this was one of whenever a machine and a simple bit of fitness tends to prevail. Another day that we put another at-home version for people to kind of jump in and get themselves stuck in for. Yeah.
I think what would your plan be for this workout? How would you tackle this workout?
Yeah, so I would say that I'm pretty proficient on the machines. So for me to kind of knock the edge off, I would still be able to travel quite quickly through the machine. But what I would have not one eye, I'd have both eyes on being efficient on my first few reps on each of the dumbbell movements. The single arm dumbbell devil press will be just at the end, you just dig in and you get going. But that single dumbbell burpee cluster, I'm trying to work out, okay, I go down like a devil's press, I stand up like a devil's press, and I'm thinking then of a squat clean into my press then overhead. And the first 5 to 10, I'm just trying to be smooth, trying to keep my breathing steady. And then over time, I can pick up that pace if I know then when I jump on the machine, I can sit at 12, 1300 and feel like I'm just steadily moving through.
Yeah. Sounds good. I feel like I would be, so this is going to link a little bit in with the week after's programming, but for me, I know roughly what my 10-minute 10-minute paces on a bike, or what my 20-minute, FTP test is on a bike, and I want my 5Ks on a row, and I want my 2Ks on a row, I'd be thinking, right, how can I use those paces there in this workout? So for me, for example, on that first bike/row, I'd be like, right, I'm going to go in and around 10-minute pace, maybe just a few RPM slower. It should feel the same going on the dumbbell burpee clusters. Like I should feel the same. I want to try and keep that same pace. Then can I maintain a similar pace or up it a little bit on the second machine, and then again to finish on the devil's press, whatever you've got left in the tank there. Just be relentless. It's only one dumbbell. Keep moving. That's what I'd be telling myself.
Yeah.
And that concludes our last week of 2021.
Wowza.
Yeah, so great stuff. I hope everyone has a great Christmas. And we will be back next week with the first week's training of 2022.
It's a good one.
So it is. So be excited. We've got a few tests initially in that first week. It'd be good to see where people are at, and then we're going to retest them in kind of 6 to 8 weeks' time, just before the open, to see how we've progressed. But we'll go into more detail on that next week. Cool. Right. Have a good one, guys. Merry Christmas and a happy New Year.
All right. Speak to you later, guys.